Hey guys, hope y'all doing good today. So I was gonna give it a few minutes and then we will get started. All right, got a lot of good people in here. Ghost Rider, yes, very soon. Nikolai, good to see you. I'm doing great. Hope you guys are having a great Labor Day. Patrick, what's going on? He says, how's Wi-Fi or World Liberty Fi looking from here? It's looking good. It's looking good. I think that there'll be some good support near 20 cents. That's where we're going to be DCAing. 20, then probably 15, 10, and then 5. Ghost Rider says, Data, are you personally still in the Pengu trade? What are your DCA levels? So, no, I'm not. I got stopped out at 2.77 cents, but still hit our TP1, and I believe may have hit our TP2 as well. Nicholas, hey CD, great to hear from you again. Beep, beep, boop, boop. Hey, Nicholas, good to hear from you as always. 5-4 Maxi, bull runs over, GG, JK. Yeah, guys, remember, September is historically the most bearish month, and so this is as expected, right? But I'm still expecting some bullishness, if not this week, the next week, because rate cuts are around the corner. What's going on, Shakir? Good to see you. XYZ, Brian, Alexander, Mark, Stoic Mind, Rodrigo, Doolin, Diddy, Mirza. Awesome, guys. A lot of good people in here. A lot of regulars. Dylan, Dreber, Adonis, Jackpot, Maximilian Limitless, Shazon, Andre, Rich, Jerome, Hyper, Ramiro, Christian, Victor. Awesome. What's going on, guys? Hope you are doing great. Sino says AI is getting out of control. Yeah, I know this, my AI voice is crazy. Mahedi says, disappointing launch for Liberty Fi in terms of price action. Yeah, guys, I told you guys where Liberty Fi was going to have a dump at launch. Like, just because you had so many people in the pre-sale, you can't expect for them to be up 4, 5, 6, 7x and not dump the price. Granted, they're only 20% was unlocked for them to sell, but still, right? Like, so that's where I would say, could this be like the Trump launch where, we have a dump and then a pump and then maybe slight bleeding, then another pump? It's possible, but just be mindful. Eduardo says, greetings from Monterrey, Mexico. Oh, that's a nice place. You can come next year. We'll have a soccer World Cup in the city. Hey, I'll definitely look at doing that, Eduardo. Appreciate that. James, what's going on? Says, how you been? NFP this Friday. If dollar news is good, crypto probably dumps. Yeah, we'll have to see. There's a lot of macro events, which I'll talk about as well, guys. So make sure you keep in mind that. We have 133 viewers with 22 likes. If we can get those likes up a little bit higher, that'd be awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching and spending your Labor Day watching this live stream. So let's go ahead and check out some of the data. So first, 24-hour liquidation data. We can see that World Liberty Fi is definitely a lot of that, right? 50% longs and shorts being liquidated on World Liberty Fi. But total, we have 345 million with longs 263 versus shorts 82. So a lot of longs have been getting liquidated recently. That's understandable too, because Solana can't stay above 200. Ethereum's barely above 4,300. Bitcoin can't break 110K, much less 112. And so we're having the standard volatility, especially with September being the most bearish month. So what do you expect, right? And we have a lot of economic numbers coming out this week, which I will talk about, and over the next few weeks as well. But yeah, World Liberty Fi is the big topic for today. We'll talk about that. I'll talk about my thoughts on it. We'll chart it out, and then we'll go from there. So let's go ahead and look at the liquidation heat map. So for the 1 week liquidation heat map, we can see Bitcoin still hovering around that 108.8K level with some liquidity near 107.2 and then higher at 110.5. So really could go either way, but in my opinion, we may have one last flush to 106, 107, and then continue higher from there. There's going to be some good support in my opinion. And then we have the 114 level, which hopefully should get tagged before we have the major pullback in September. So keeping an eye on that. And then looking at the 24-hour liquidation heat map, we have a big liquidity pocket at 106.5K. So if we do have any type of negative news this week, this level is getting tagged 100%. So just keep that in mind. Keep your limit orders there. That's where I would watch. Because right now I'm in a Bitcoin long from 108K and it hit the first TP of 109.8. And then I'm still holding at least half of it. So yeah, if you can get Bitcoin between 107 to 108, it's not a bad entry. I know Kincaid called a spot call on it. Basically just a buy call on it when it was around the levels. But yeah, It's good support. And then below 106.5, I would look at 104 and then 100. It's going to be the big level afterwards. But yeah, just any downside target, 106.5 would be a good area to bounce. And then looking at some big news items. So let's go ahead and go to Watch Your Guru and find some big news items that happened over the past week, because a lot has happened. So let me go ahead and get one of my coffees real quick. All right, so Grayscale files S1 for Avalanche AVAX ETF. Now, I mean, there's been so many ETFs filed, I'm losing track at this point. You have the AVAX, the Link, the Dogecoin, the Litecoin, the Solana, which I think Solana is going to be the next one to get approved this year. And then the ETH staking ETF for BlackRock should get approved this year as well. So those are two big ones that should have some nice catalysts afterwards. But it's good to see more altcoins are getting their ETFs, because it just shows institutions have an appetite for it. And eventually, you're going to have everyone else start to invest in ETFs themselves. So, and in various altcoins, which is good to see. Also, you have Michael Saylor buying more Bitcoin, nothing crazy there. You had Elon, going over macroeconomic news, you had Elon's XAI officially suing Apple and OpenAI for antitrust violations. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. Again, not really affecting crypto per se, but just something to keep in mind. Also, you have the XRP credit card. So let me know if anyone here is getting the Gemini XRP credit card, or if you have the standard one, which is the Bitcoin credit card. You can actually get crypto or payments in whatever cryptocurrency you want. This is more so just a design perspective versus the actual feature perspective. But let me know if you guys have a Gemini credit card, or what crypto credit card you have, because I'm strongly considering one, especially if there's any crypto credit cards for business. Let me know if you guys have any of those as well. Very curious to see what everyone's using. And Trump says he's going to reduce drug prices by 1,500%. Anyone that knows the pharmaceutical market knows that they are very extractionary. They mark up pharmaceutical drugs 1,000, 1,500, 2,000%. And so good to see that Trump is aiming to lower this. And in essence, this will provide more investors, or more people, consumers, with discretionary income. So then where do you think they're going to use that? If they're getting cheaper drug prices, maybe they'll use that to invest in stocks or crypto, right? So just something good for a trickle-down effect there. And then the U.S. government is also taking ownership in more companies. So think of this like they took 10% stock in Intel, and then also they're looking to take stock in others, right? So keep an eye on that. Now, on top of that, Trump fired the Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook. So she was having some malpractice, and he sent her away. Now, this shows that Trump is just reformulating his cabinet and surrounding, political advisors to be more advantageous for his policies, which in general is going to be better for us in the short term for the markets. And so if he's trying to pump the markets and he's surrounding himself with people that are more apt to do the same, then that's good for our bags. So good to see there. You also have Donald Trump Jr. investing double-digit millions in a crypto prediction platform, Polymarket. So the Trump family, extremely big into crypto, right? I mean, obviously the War Liberty Fi launch was today, and you have the Trump family investing into other crypto-related projects and companies. So again, just shows more adoption by them. Also, you have the U.S. government to begin publishing economic data on the blockchain, which they're doing this using Link. So you can see up here, the U.S. Department of Commerce partners with Chainlink to bring government macroeconomic data on chain. So guys, they are doing big things in the government regarding adoption of cryptocurrency and integration of blockchain technology. So this is great to see, and it'll just get more intertwined as the months and years go on. So great to see there from an adoption perspective. And then also we had NVIDIA, when they had their earnings, it was bullish. They outperformed, but they didn't outperform enough, right? Some of the outlook wasn't as good, even though they were doing buybacks. There was some still revenue sharing drama between them and Trump. If they had to share 15% of their revenue, there's all kinds of different things that happened with NVIDIA's earnings, which essentially wasn't as bullish as expected. And then also we had Hal Finney. I mean, it's nearly the 11th year anniversary since he passed away, which many believe that he was Satoshi Nakamoto, because he was the first Bitcoin recipient. He received the very first Bitcoin. So very curious to see, who do you guys think was Satoshi? Do you think it's Hal Finney, or do you think it's someone else? I think most likely it was Hal Finney, but Again, leave that up to interpretation. So he did a lot of good stuff. So rest in peace, Hal Finney. And then for you, the GDP growth, U.S. revises Q2 GDP growth up to 3.3%, the best quarter since Q3 2023. So at least the U.S. economy is doing well. And then you also have the Department of Commerce saying we are cementing our role as the blockchain capital of the world. Guys, the government is literally showing you their hand of how much they're adopting cryptocurrency and what they're going to do in the future. Remember, they're most likely going to omit capital gains tax from crypto in the future. That's going to be another positive thing that's going to happen. So again, there's just going to be more positive catalysts over the next few months and few years. Then you have JP Morgan saying Bitcoin is undervalued versus gold. Now the banks are full in, right? JP Morgan used to be against it. At least Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan, used to be against it in 2017 and 18. Now he's changed his tune. The company's changed their tune, and now they're looking to adopt it because all of the big institutions, all the big investors are now in it, right? All their big clients are now in it. So it's in their interest to be pro-crypto and be pro-Bitcoin. Nonetheless, good for our bags. Also, you have CFTC to issue clarification, allowing U.S. users to trade on offshore crypto exchanges such as Binance and others. This will be good as well because it's going to help, again, increase that adoption and increase access for those who don't have it. So great to see there. Binance is probably one of the best exchanges to trade on for liquidity, but I still believe Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini, all good exchanges as well. Also, you have Eric Trump saying the Trump family loves and believes in Bitcoin. So more support from them. They're not going to stop anytime soon. And then also, you had some drama with the U.S. Appeals Court and Trump. So they found Trump's global tariffs illegal. And then Trump says all tariffs are still in effect despite the appeals court ruling against them. So, guys, you just got to think about this logically, right? The U.S. Appeals Court found Trump's global tariffs illegal, yet other countries tariffing the U.S. is fine. It doesn't make any sense. Why would they be illegal if other countries can do it? So, just use common sense on that one. Then here's more drama with Elon. So Elon's XAI sues Chinese engineer Zuchen Li for allegedly uploading Grok's code base to OpenAI after being hired by them and then selling $7 million worth in XAI shares. So there's a lot of stuff going on with, again, people that are from foreign countries trying to steal the data, and there's a lot of what they call espionage or what have you. It's a lot of stuff. So hopefully XAI, wins that case, which they will, and hopefully the code stays safe. And then also you have Metaplanet and Michael Saylor continuing to buy more Bitcoin, hundreds of millions of dollars worth. And you have Trump saying India has offered to cut their tariffs to nothing. Guys, this is the benefit of having global tariffs, because you can make other countries come to the table. You can have these trade deals, and the U.S. actually ends up earning more money, which in turn is going to help with either discretionary income, pumping the market. People may get a stimulus from these tariff savings, or the U.S. could use these tariff savings as a way to purchase Bitcoin for their SBR via their accumulation plan that they have yet to announce. There's all kinds of benefits for tariffs from other countries, guys. So it's all reciprocal at the end of the day, right? If the country wants to charge the U.S. is going to charge them. If they don't, the U.S. is not going to charge them. Reciprocal. That's how you get things done. And then finally, we have Treasury Secretary Bessent saying President Trump might declare a national housing emergency in the coming months. This is an interesting one, because what does this mean? A national housing emergency. Does that mean that they're going to emergency cut the rates to make housing, cheaper, right? To make leasing from a house cheaper or renting from a house cheaper? I mean, what is a national housing emergency? And so that's something that's going to be seen over the next few weeks. And if this makes housing more affordable, people are going to have more discretionary income, market's going to pump. So keep an eye on this and what this means for the future. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Now, let's go ahead and answer some questions here. So give me a sec, guys. Let me go to the top. All right. All right. Let's see. A lot of good people in here. Okay, Don, what's going on? Jackpot says, hola, namaste. Maximilian says, what's up? Come to Germany. I really want to visit Germany. That sounds like a good place. What's going on? Limitless. Shazon says, hey, CD, I had to open long on Pangu with just 6x. Should I keep it until all-time high open? I would just be careful. Stop loss, Shazon, would probably be around 2.7 cents. Let's see what's going on. Andre, Rich, good to see you. Jerome, good to see you. Ramiro, what's up? Limitless says, where are you located? So currently, I'm in the United States. but I like to travel. I will be in Singapore for token 2049. Curious if any of you guys are going to be there. AJ, what's going on? Dolan says red September 1st. It seems, yes, it does seem that way. Let's see. What's going on, Victor? ABD, no, this is not Luke. And don't worry, ABD, you're only the 200th person to ask that. My name is John Luke. I am a friend of Luke's, and I've hung out with Luke, but I am not Luke. And this is not Luke's AI voice. I am my own person. So trying to answer all that. One of these days, Luke and I are going to be on the same stream together, and it's going to be fun. Let's see. What's going on, Berserk? Good to see you. Stefan says, hello, your thoughts on Pump? Pump actually didn't do too bad the past few days. So it's not a bad token. I know they're doing a lot of buybacks, but I still need to do more research on exactly the full thesis of that and how much sustainability it has. I'm not invested in it right now, though. Let's see. Arvid's, good to see you. Samadkado, what's going on? Arvid says, first time. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you for joining the live stream, and happy Labor Day. If you guys haven't liked the live stream, we got 177 viewers and only 51 likes, guys. If you guys could like the stream, that helps spread us to the masses. If you guys want to join the free Gym Hunters Telegram group, first link in the description. If you want to join the premium group, which is 1 Ethereum for a year, in the second link in the description, which is more leverage calls, meme coin calls, live streams, 24/7 concierge service, etc. You can apply, see if you're eligible. Not sure if the group is still open right now. They may have closed it, but check that out if you haven't. Derek, what's good? Good to see you. Eduardo, ACD, greetings from Monterrey, Mexico. Yep. Looking forward to visiting. Let's see. X says, what's up from Croatia? I love Croatia. Ali, what's going on? Camilo, what's going on? Jesus is King. CJB, what's going on? Lucas says, happy Monday. Sergi says, hello from Spain. Oh, I want to visit Spain as well. Camilo says, so who is John Luke? John Luke is CryptoData. So for those who don't know, my X account is at the CryptoData. It's here. This is who is speaking right now. So I'm not Luke. Name is John Luke, and then alias is CryptoData. So if any of you guys aren't following me on X, definitely do so. I'm a gym hunter. I provide a lot of analysis, provide a lot of calls. So definitely give me a follow, guys. I provide a lot of good content. Check my pinned message. A lot of good stuff for you guys here. And I keep you guys updated with the markets. Eswar says, almost went to sleep, but remembered CD's weekly market overview stream. I appreciate you, Eswar. Definitely make sure you get some sleep. I always appreciate you watching. Let's see. Ghost Rider says, Data, what are the top 5 names, usernames of viewers you remember from your streams? Ghost Rider, there's so many. Obviously, you're one of them, but there's so many that always join. I mean, I know Eswar's always joining. I know that Brian's always joining. I know that. I mean, like everyone. There's so many people, like, I can't name everyone, but there's people that I'm always seeing here, and I appreciate every one of you joining consistently. The Poor says, hi, Pip, Pup, Pep, Pup. Yep. Let's see. Pepe Maximilian says, do you know Pepe Coin? I do know Pepe Coin, but I'm not in it. Botify, to put my bids at the marks you said for Libertyfy. How do you manage them? For example, I have them at 20, 15, 10, and 5, but if it all hits, then the previous ones would be liquidated. Botified, so no, I'm not doing leverage. That's all spot trading. So guys, for World Libertyfy, I would stay away from leverage. It's going to be very volatile. So see when the next unlocks are. Do some research on that. But spot trading for World Libertyfy is probably the best bet. Team Papa said, how are you? What's your entry and exit plans for World Libertyfy? Just those numbers right there that Botified mentioned, 20 cents, 15, 10, and 5 spot. Looking to exit near 40, 35 to 40. And then Botified, nope, I don't use a stop loss if it's spot, technically. Don says, listen mode activated. Appreciate you. Camilo, you're goated, bro. Thoughts on Syrup? Appreciate you, Camilo. Syrup, I'm bullish on it. It's an RWA token, similar to Ondo. They had a lot of promise in the beginning. Now I think it's kind of been more choppy, but still a good token whenever the RWA narrative returns. Shakir, which one gives more accurate signals, RSI or stock RSI? Great question, Shakir. They do their own thing. Stock RSI is going to give you more signals because it's a little bit more sensitive, whereas RSI, it's probably going to give you stronger signals. So RSI technically, but stock RSI, you still get a lot of good data from that. So it's just different. XYZ, make a video of your trading strategy. Yep, I will do that in the future. See, Rexil says, any new coin list and SEX, the same pattern at pump and dump like where Libertyfy and the price will not recover during the first year? Yeah, exactly. I mean, most new coins have the same pattern. Hey, Max, I'm doing great. Hope you're doing good as well. Eric, at work watching your live. Love it. I love you guys that are at work watching these lives. And you're working on Labor Day, Eric. That's interesting. I know a lot of people are off today, but still grinding no matter what, just like we are, working 24/7. Lucas, hey CD, rarely catch the lives, but I've been watching even replay, and you've helped a lot. Awesome, Lucas. That makes me feel good. So glad you guys are getting some positive data and some good help with these live streams. Makes me feel good. Ghost Rider, happy Labor Day to my fellow construction workers. There you go. Sino, World Liberty Fi to $1 in my opinion. Price action is very healthy, and it would be ranked 11 biggest coin overall at $1. It's possible, Sino. It's possible. First, we got to break 40 cents, but $1 is possible. Samadkato, what do you think about the meme Brett, Pepe, and Pengu? Are they dead? Brett, I don't like as much. Pepe, it's been underperforming a lot. And Pengu is the most bullish in my opinion out of those three. I think Pengu, Q4 is going to be good for Pengu. Luca Netz, the CEO of Pudgy Penguins, he is very bullish, and he is one of the hardest working CEOs I know. So he said Q4 is going to be good, so I believe him. Shakir, and which one is work well in 4-hour daily, 50, 200 EMA? So I use the daily. The daily time frames is the sweet spot. And then, yeah, 50 and 200 EMA as well. Mr. Shamir says, yo, what's up? What's going on, Shamir? Joseph, would you buy World Liberty Fi at 20 cents at DCA? Yeah, 20 cents, 15, 10, and 5. Mirza says, hey, CD, which low mid-cap coins are you buying at this very moment? Spot holdings for Q4. Just the standard ones. I mean, low mid-cap, I don't know if I'm looking at many right now, to be honest. It's just the market's so volatile. Coins are hardly holding their values. That's why I stick with the majors. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Hype, maybe Sui, Link, maybe. And now probably World Liberty Fi. S4 says, World Liberty Fi, good coin to look at. Does it have any utility or just hype? No, I think it's going to have utility as well. I mean, the Trump family has got to have some plans for it. So that's why I'm still interested in it, spot-wise, not leverage. Make a video of your trading. Yep. ACD, I hope you're having a great day so far. Appreciate you, Hacks. Hope you're having a good day as well. Junior, good to see you. Another regular here with the glitch emoji. Camilo, bro, who are you? Yep, I already said that. Pengu, yep. Shakir, also, which coin has potential for at least a 2x in less amount of time? Hard to say. Probably World Liberty Fi. Adam, no thoughts on the duck. Memes will probably have another run, but it's just, there's such a big dilution of capital, guys. So many memes are being launched. It's hard to even corner one. DWA, what's going on? Mirza, how big of a percent move do you try to capture with your leverage trades versus your spot trades? And what's your average holding time for each? Not talking about long-term hodls like BTC, Eatsol. So for my leverage trades, it just depends on what leverage. But if we're talking SOL percentage-wise, not with leverage included, 1 to 3% move. Because I'm trading with 5 to 10x leverage, right? So if I'm trading with 10x leverage, I'm going to try to catch a 2 to 6% move. If I'm trading with 5x leverage, usually it's a 3 to 6%. If it's spot, I'm looking for at least like a 50% or more. SWAR, also CDs, and just want to say I got a confirmation mail from the company that I'm about to join. So can you give me the best tips to manage time, health, stress to work and trading and other business? Yeah, SWAR, great question. So for those who don't know, I like to focus on health a lot because I always say health is wealth and lifestyle as well, as we are also focused on crypto, because your lifestyle is just as important as you trading crypto, right? You got to have a good balance. And so SWAR was saying he just got a job, and what's the best way to balance this? So SWAR, first and foremost, man, get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. If you don't get 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night, your days are going to be wrecked. So 7 to 8 hours of sleep, first and foremost. And then after that, you need to have a to-do list. You need to set a schedule the night before of what you have to do for your job, and then how your day is going to be planned after you get off of work. So if you get off of work at 4 p.m. or 5 p.m., okay, when are you going to set time to study crypto? Is it going to be from 7 to 8 p.m.? Is it going to be from 8 to 9 p.m.? And then you're going to wind down, get ready for bed between 9 to 10 and like read a book or whatever. And then you're going to go to bed at 10, wake up at 6, and then start your day there, right? But I would set at least 30 minutes to an hour per day for crypto, but just box it out to a good time, right? I would say get home from work, unwind a little bit. Don't go straight into crypto, but unwind a little bit. And then maybe around 8 p.m., spend like an hour in crypto. Cool. And then after that, then just get ready for bed for the next hour afterwards. That would be my schedule. But always also make sure that you have some meals on the go, or maybe even pre-make your meals, whether it's, chicken with green beans and rice, chicken with sweet potato, some beef, steak, what have you. But you could have some meals to go so that you're still eating healthy, and also having your glass water bottle that you're taking with you, or water that you have in a thermos, right? Stay away from plastic water or plastic bottles. Make sure your tap water is filtered if you do have that. And then besides that, if you can maintain your workouts as well, even if it's just 30 minutes, just something 3 to 5 days a week, try to fit that in as well. Potentially maybe on your lunch break while you're at work, or right after you get off of work, just go into your workout. And then from there, just schedule it that way. But yeah, first and foremost, SWR, get 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night. That's a non-negotiable. And then from there, you can schedule out and block out your time for everything else. Let's see. Mirrored, it says, is DCA is for spots only. Can you DCA on futures? You can DCA on futures as well, 100%. I always tell people to DCA on futures because it lowers your average price and gets you better entry. Let's see. Bundy, what's going on? DJ and Kurt, historically during bull runs, August and September are never both closed red. With August already red, September has a good chance to pump. Hey, good point, DJ and Kurt. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. Let's see. All right. Maximilian, no thoughts on Pepe coin. Pepe, not as bullish on it just because it's been underperforming. Christian says Silky. Sino, Steve Jobs is Satoshi was. Really, Sino? Curious if you really believe that. Bayo edits, thoughts on Sabbath. No thoughts. Actually, never heard. If you're talking about Sabbath in general, I don't mind it. But if it's a coin, I haven't heard of it. Patrick says Satoshi is AI. That would be interesting. Nikolai, Satoshi is probably a Japanese guy. Christian, Gains, that's right. SWR, complaining will always make you feel unlucky, while working on your dreams won't. Exactly. Work on your dream, guys. Work on your dreams and work towards your goals. I promise you, you will achieve them if you are consistent and you don't stop. Nikolai, by the way, Zeus has bullish divergence on the RSI. It's my bet for this cycle. Interesting. Udis says Jamie Dimon will not only be on the wrong side of history, he'll be a footnote. Yeah, he made the biggest blunder making those comments, I'll tell you that. DJ and Kurt, CryptoData is the real Satoshi. Grandpa, how'd you find out, DJ and Kurt? The gig is up. Patrick, what are the chances War Liberty fight ends up just like Trump and Melania? I think it's about a 50% chance. As far as says, do you think ETH is going to 3.5 to 4K? Benjamin Cohen just mentioned about this in his latest expos. I think ETH is going to 3.8K. That's my area to bid. Darren, what's going on? I'm doing great. Hope you're doing good as well. What's going on, Bromes? Mirza, do you expect another big ETH pump before the inevitable pullback below 4K? I do. I'm thinking we could even see ETH above 5K, like 5.1, and then a big dump to 3.8 after. Bayo edits, market outlook. The indicators look iffy, many bearish gaps, but indicators kind of reset and majors near support. Yeah, the indicators are iffy right now, honestly. Some indicators look okay on the daily. Some still need to reset more. The weekly looks pretty bearish on most time frame, or on most coins. So just keep that in mind. See, Magic says, why is the TG stream not working? Maybe refresh if it's not working or if it lags for you. As for also, do you think we're going to have a green September since we had a red August? I still think September is probably going to be red, but we'll still have some green for a week or so. As Christian said, stimulus for rent. There you go. Bayo edits, Doge one day is a triangle. It's breaking out to the downside. July 8th is where the bottom line starts, and July 21st where the top line starts. Interesting. Nikolai says, I hope the housing emergency is cutting rates to one basis point. Yeah, wouldn't that be something? Eswar, also, even though I practice Hinduism, I still haven't learned a lot from the Bible, phrases, and Psalms. Eswar, as long as you have a religion you're following, and as long as it doesn't hinder anyone else, then that's 100% good. I strongly believe everyone should have some type of religion, whether it's Hinduism, Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, Catholicism, Judaism. Have some type of religion, guys. It helps out a lot. Nikolai says, patiently waiting for alt season. Yes, aren't we all? Bayo edits, any past trades you post in GH back to being valid again? Not really. I mean, the only trade I would say is Bitcoin long. Like a Bitcoin long between 107 and 108, maybe a worthy trade. Maybe 10x leverage. Abhishek says, is this week going to be good or bad for crypto? It's going to be volatile. Probably net bullish. Lewis, still a cautious long on ETH at 4,300, knowing ETH has bounced before from this point. Yeah, ETH 4,300 is like a light support. It's kind of like that meme where you had the Cheeto meme, right? Where the Cheeto is blocking the door and it's treated like a lock, but the support is very light, and if the door opens, you can just break it. That's what 4,300 feels like right now with Ethereum. Darren says, I missed yesterday's stream, but watched it this morning. Great stuff. Appreciate you, Darren. Hope it helped. Yesterday's stream, for those who didn't know, was called How to Diversify Your Portfolio. So it's a great stream if you guys haven't watched it. Jet says, yo, this isn't Luke. See, I'm telling you guys. Everyone asks if I'm Luke. I'm not Luke, Jet. I'm not Luke. Sound like him, but I'm not him. Nikolai said, what do you think about BTC closing the weekly below the 8-year trend line? Also, what do you think of the monthly close? Yeah, monthly close is pretty bad. Closing below its 8-year trend line was also the first indicator that we're going lower. So I think Bitcoin needs to reset for another week or two before going higher. Greenland said, hype still printing. Genaris says, how much premium group costs? So the premium for Gym Hunters is 1 Ethereum for a yearly subscription. Second link in the description. Mahedi says, what if the quantum computers are able to crack the code? Do you think the big boys will let it happen? I think it may have already happened, or it's close to happening. And if that happens, we'll see a big sell-off from Satoshi's wallet and the other dormant wallets. Bitcoin at that point may have an 80% pullback, and then we'll be off to the races from there. That would be the black swan event if we're looking for 2029 or 2030. Or even, heck, even the next few years. My opinion on hype, indifferent on it for the next few days. Solana, it needs to close back above 200. I'll go over those charts, though, in a minute. Sebastian says, hello from Puerto Rico. What app can I use to do perps here? You can use BloFin. Links in the description on that as well. Don, thoughts on World Liberty-Fi? I mean, I'm technically still bullish on it, as long as it can hold above 20 cents. That's a big level. I know a lot of institutions OTC'd then. Finance Compass, do you think alt season is canceled this cycle? I don't think it's canceled, but I don't think it's going to be like other cycles where everything pumps. It's going to be allocated to the top 100 coins, not like the top 1,000 like it used to be. Jintara says, what thoughts about Wife Coin Shield by James Nguyen? No thoughts on that. James Nguyen had his time. Now he's just trying to pump random coins. It's going good, Hunt. Good to see you. Any thoughts on Solana Seeker season beginning September 8th? Also, will you be picking up Solana Seeker phone for your airdrop rewards? 54 Maxi, thanks for reminding me. I actually ordered a Solana Seeker back in the day, and I don't think I've received it yet. Let me know if any of you guys have received yours. I know they were shipping them out recently. Ghost Rider, did you try any beta features on your Tesla? I tried some of our Cybertruck, and it was awesome. It's a shame to me and my partner couldn't really use it to construction. Would have been perfect. You know, the beta features, yeah, I'm trying the auto shifter. So where auto shifts from drive to reverse based off of what's in front or behind it. It's actually not too bad. So I like it. But the Tesla's awesome, guys. For anyone who's thinking to purchase a Tesla, I actually do have a referral link for anyone looking to purchase a Tesla. And heck, I could post it in the chat. Let me know if you guys want the Tesla referral link. It would get you 3 free months of full self-driving, and which is a $300 value because they have that $7,500 EV tax credit ending September 30th. So if you guys are thinking about buying a Tesla, I would do it before the 30th. But yeah, let me know if you guys want my Tesla referral link. I will link it in the chat. Again, I'm not trying to make this a promo here or anything, but you guys would save some money and then I would get a little kickback from it. So let me know if you guys want that and I will link it in the chat. Tesla's a great car though, guys. Like, I highly recommend it. If any of you guys didn't see my post on it, I posted that I bought one here. So you can see, I mean, let me shamelessly shill my Tesla. So this is the one I bought. I bought the Model Y, the Quicksilver color, Model Y all-wheel drive. So this is an amazing car. I mean, even looking at the interior of this thing, like you can see here, I mean, it's very clean. You got the little interior lights. The full self-driving is amazing. Like, guys, the Model Y Juniper 2026 model, highly recommend this in the Quicksilver color. You're gonna have to pay a little extra for it. It's a $2,000 for the add-on, but highly recommend it. This thing is being sold out everywhere. One of the best-selling cars. So, like I said, if you guys want my referral link, you'll get 3 free months of full self-driving. But anyway, let's go back to the chat. see. Quick pips. How can I get free meme coins? You can, I mean, I don't know if you can get free meme coins, but you can do airdrops. So airdrops are a good way to try to earn some free money. Della says, money on that World Liberty Fi. It's going to go up. Yeah, eventually it should. When and where are you buying World Liberty Fi? Most exchanges have World Liberty Fi, Carson. Most exchanges have listed it. And if not, they will soon. Gen Z says, what's up, CryptoData? When do we expect new all-time highs for Bitcoin? What's going on, Gen Z? Ooh, all-time highs for Bitcoin? End of October to November. That's when I'll place my bets. Bromes, could you teach how to short? Is it the opposite of long, or is there other stuff to it? Yeah, Bromes, it's the exact opposite of long. So it's just you expect a coin to go down, you short it, you make money when it goes down, you secure profits. That's all it is. Christian says, I always work. There you go. Yeah, guys, I'm working 24/7, like I'm sure a lot of you are. If you're in crypto, you never have a day off. Ed says, Nexo is the best crypto debit card out there. Interesting. I'll have to check Nexo out. Thanks, Ed. I've heard of it, so I'll look closer. Alexander, today I finished watching all streams from before for learning. I was really surprised how much info and knowledge you gave. Thank you a lot. Hey, no problem, Alexander. Appreciate you watching that and glad you learned a lot. Makes me feel good. Mustagami, World Liberty Fi. What is your position on World Liberty Fi? Yep, 20 cents, 15 cents, 10, and 5 is where I looked at DCA on spot, not leverage. Patrick says, don't fade Luca Nets. Exactly. Luca Nets, very bullish. Pengu, very bullish for Q4. Gen Z, if you have to use only 3 indicators, what would they be? RSI, stock RSI, and the 200 EMA. Those would be the ones I would use. And the 50 EMA. So 4 indicators, but those are the 4 I actually do use. Mirza, do you mostly jump into tokens that are already in an uptrend or try to catch the bottom? I try to catch them on a pullback. I always buy on pullbacks because that gives the best risk reward. So buy at major support levels in the daily or weekly while your indicators are agreeing near oversold levels. Akshay says, open to 5x BTC long at 107.3 and stop loss at 104, which is almost 3%. If I DCA, should I still lower stop loss as well? No. So when you place your stop loss, you do it there for a reason, right? Whether it's an invalidation, it's below support, it's below the latest wick, whatever it is. So yeah, I mean, if price hits it, it hits it. But stop loss is there to prevent you from losing more money. So I would just keep it there. Money moves, leverage, bought World Liberty Fi at 27 cents, right up all the way to 39, was off to work, got notifications, stop loss hit at 24, lesson, should have taken 50% profit. Exactly, money moves. Like, you got to be careful on these plays that have a lot of liquidity and a lot of hype because they're extremely volatile. Bromes, can we look at Sui and hype charts? Love your efforts for teaching us. Yeah, I'll go over that in a minute. Going to go over some more of the stream. We're only about, half to 2/3 of the way through the stream. Just going to answer a few more questions, and then we'll go back to the stream. Do you think the market will chop until the next FOMC? It's possible, yeah. September 17th. Probably continue to chop. Mr. Robinson, good to see you. What's up, Data? Hope you're having a nice start to the week. Likewise, Mr. Robinson. Hope you are as well. K. Garoga. Hey, G, it's a realistic goal to flip $100 to $1,000 in a month using the Gem Hunters free Telegram and YouTube content as a beginner. I want to be realistic, and the goal is 1,000 is 18K money units in my country. So it's possible, but it's very hard. So potentially you could follow the leverage trades. But I mean, to do a 10x in a month, yeah, I would say start first on just doubling your money, $100 to $200 in a month. That's still a great achievement there. So I would start from there. And then once you have 100 to 200, the next month, I would look to double that again from 200 to 400. And then the next month from 400 to 800. And then you're basically there. So give yourself 3 months instead of 1. Ooh, a lot of questions, guys. You guys are active today. Love it. Concurrent viewers, 167, but only 75 likes. What are you guys doing? Make sure to like the stream if you haven't. I really appreciate it. And it'd be awesome if we can get to 100 likes this stream, guys. Bayo Edit says, how do you take care of your eyes while trading? I have high resolution monitors. At least have 2K monitors or 4K monitors. And then at nighttime, use amber tinted blue light blocking glasses. That helps as well with eye strain and helping you have a good sleep. Christian says your health is very important. Yes. So if I do spot for Liberty Fi, I have to activate buy when it hits the price we want instead of placing a bid at specific prices. No, you can just place bid at specific prices. Spotify. Spot is the same as leverage, just you're not trading leverage. You're in spot. Medi, if you want to 5x your portfolio, diversify into memes, leverage, and then spot and high conviction alts. Garogo says, I want to try out the drink you mentioned. You drink. So there's one right now. It's called Pop and Bottle. It's classic cold brew almond latte. It's all organic ingredients. It's a coffee. It's from Whole Foods. I don't know if you guys have that wherever you're at, but yeah, it's a good drink. They also have the green matcha as well and a few others, so highly recommend it. Hack says, thoughts on Giga, and do you see the news about U.S. Commerce working with Avalanche, and what do you think about it? I didn't see the U.S. Commerce working with Avalanche, but Giga, indifferent about it. It was very bullish in the past. Now I think that attention has shifted. Christian says, healthy meals. Yes. That boy Adrian, good to see you. All right, guys, let's go ahead and finish the rest of the stream, and then I'll answer some questions that you guys have. Sorry, I was drinking some more coffee. And then, like I said, if you guys want me to link my Tesla referral link, I will. If you guys really want it. Like I said, you get 3 free months of full self-driving if you order it before September 30th. Okay, let's go ahead and look at some macro news. So S&P 6460 closed today because it's Labor Day, but I mean, it does look like the RSI wants to curve to the downside. It is nearly topped out here after it reached its all-time high at 6508. So big support for the S&P would be 6200, followed by 61, and then that 6000 psychological support. Gold, you can see, is very bullish because September is historically a bearish month, so people hedge gold because it is a hedge against uncertainty and a hedge against inflation. So the RSI is crossing to the upside on the weekly. And so, yeah, gold looks like it still wants to send more. So, I mean, that's why it's always good to diversify into gold, silver, and other precious metals. Oil futures at 64.60. Nothing crazy here, between 60 and 70. So really nothing too urgent. But the US dollar, the DXY, is still rejecting off of our trendline resistance that we drew last week. And so remember, the DXY is inversely correlated to Bitcoin. So if the DXY falls, Bitcoin rises. So if we have this rejection here, the RSI looks like it's potentially showing more bearish momentum. This would be very bullish for Bitcoin, and we'd see the markets pump afterwards. So keep an eye on this. We could be in for a bullish week for Bitcoin. Now, looking at the market, CoinGecko. So Bitcoin's at 108.6K, Ethereum 43.15, Tether is still $1. XRP is 273, BNB is 844, Solana is 197. Again, market's very choppy, guys. Very, very choppy. Now, the big thing, like I mentioned, World Liberty Fi. So 24.4 cents, still maintaining around this level. I told you guys there'd be a dump in the beginning. There was a dump in the beginning. It didn't get to our 20 cent level. I got to 23.4 cents. Like I said, there's some demand near 20 cents. That's going to be the first area of interest. If you guys want to buy World Liberty Fi on spot, stay away from leverage. And then 15 cents, 10 cents, and then 5 cents. So if you end up DCing at all those levels equal amounts, then your average entry would be, let's see, 45, 50 would be 25 cents. Or no, sorry, not 25. It'd be 20 plus 15, that'd be 35, plus 10 is 45, plus 5 is 50. 50 divided by 4 would be 12.5 cents. Yeah, so if you DCA all those, your average entry would be 12.5 cents. So that'd be a very good entry. But yeah, that's what I recommend. Now, looking at the inflows and outflows. So Ethereum, slightly amount of light outflows today, negative 0.2%. Solana, negative 1.54%. So not as many degens trading on Solana today. Base chain, negative. Hyperliquid still gaining attention. Whenever Hyperliquid earns fees from liquidations, they use that to buy back the token. Therefore, that's why you usually see Hyperliquid performing well on large liquidation days. And then Avalanche, 0.21%, not too bad there. Now, looking at the Fear and Greed Index, 39. So we are finally in that fear area. We've been here actually for a few days now. And this is where I like to look for value plays, because whenever we're in the fear area, it means that the ROI and the risk reward is very good and it's more advantageous versus buying when it's in greed or extreme greed, right? If we get to extreme fear below 20, I would definitely look to buy near there. If not, then really I would look to buy potentially, you know, if it gets to say 30 near here. I mean, 30 is a great level even now, just slowly DCAing in. I think being in the fear area is much better risk reward wise. Now, looking at the ETF flows, we don't have them today because it's a holiday, but you can see last Friday we did have outflows on Bitcoin, negative 126, where Ethereum was negative outflows of 164. So institutions were more apt to sell Ethereum than Bitcoin. Let's see on Tuesday if Ethereum is going to outperform again or if Bitcoin is going to maintain the outperformance. I do know that Benjamin Cohen was saying Bitcoin dominance is going to start outperforming very soon, which means alts are going to bleed. So September may be a red month, guys. I don't like to say it, but everyone here knows that seasonality usually plays out. And while history doesn't repeat, it often rhymes. And so if September is bearish, Bitcoin dominance rising would match up with that fairly closely. Now, talking about Bitcoin, right now it's 109.1. So Bitcoin's doing good. So if you got in near 107 to 108, you'd be sitting very pretty right now. Stock RSI looks like it's crossing to the upside on the daily. So the daily looks beautiful for Bitcoin. The RSI is actually crossing to the upside, very close to crossing above its signal line. So watching very closely there. And so Bitcoin, at the very least, you can see it could come up to this downtrend at 110.2K. That's the level I'll look at resistance for Bitcoin. If it can break above that and close above 111K, very bullish. And at that point, then you can start saying, okay, well, maybe we're going to tag this 114K level. That is that liquidity level cluster on the 1 week heat map. I'm going to be watching that closely. And then also, if you go to the 1 week on Bitcoin, you can see that the stock RSI is almost oversold, right? So stock RSI is almost oversold. RSI on the weekly is reset near 53. So Bitcoin looks good on the weekly, guys. Like, it looks good on the weekly as well. So still expecting Bitcoin to outperform here, especially if we can break this downtrend line. Now, looking at Solana, Solana looks like it wants to bounce off of this trend line support. Remember, we had this big trend line support that we broke in our previous Solana long that hit our TP1 before retracing. So potentially, we could see Solana bouncing. Now, the thing is, on the daily, the RSI crossed below the signal line. It's at 53, so potentially may still have some underperformance. But let's see if the stock RSI ends up resetting here, because it is near 50, curving to the downside. Let's see if we can get some bounces here on Solana. I am still tentatively bullish for this week. So resistance, remember, we need to close the daily above 201. That would be fairly bullish for us, and look for a retest at 209 if that happens, and then 218 afterwards. Now, if you look at the weekly, like I mentioned, for a few altcoins, the weekly doesn't look as good. Solana, the stock RSI is overbought. Looks like it's crossing to the downside. So if we do have any bullishness, expecting that to get sold off into next week or the week after. So yeah, we do need a reset on the weekly for a lot of tokens. So just keep that in mind. And then if we go to Ethereum, I mentioned Ethereum is barely holding on to that 4,300 level, which is that level that we looked at too long. That is the first area of interest. So if we... Here you can see right now it's at 43.42, so 4,300 is holding for now. And then below that, 40.60 is the next DCA level you should be looking at. And then below that, this trend line resistance turn support. It's at 38.70, but I would say 38.30 would be even better because it lines up with this horizontal support. So 4,300, 40.60, and 38.30. If you're looking to long Ethereum, do it low leverage, 5x or less. That'll give you a little more wiggle room. But if we look at the daily indicators for Ethereum, you can see that the stock RSI is oversold. So looking good on there. The RSI is reset near 50. So Ethereum does look good on the daily. But here's the biggest thing. The weekly stock RSI is overbought, crossing to the downside. Similar to Solana, whereas the RSI is actually reset below overbought levels. So it does give us some more room to the upside if we want Ethereum to continue higher from here. So yeah, Ethereum may have just, again, if it pumps this week, probably going to dump the next few weeks and then reset and then continue higher for the weekly stock RSI. Because you can see anytime the stock RSI has been overbought, boom, huge dump, huge dump. Now, there's caveats, right? Just like in November of 2023. I mean, the stock RSI was overbought, but just continued higher. And then just like over here in January of 2023, stock RSI was overbought, had a slight reset down, and then continued higher. So it's very possible we could see one of these plays, right? But just know that these big overbought levels, they did have dumps afterwards. So just make sure you're managing your risk accordingly and DCAing at the major levels, not putting all your eggs in one basket at one level. I also said I would go over Hyperliquid. Someone was asking about that. So let me... And I'll also go over Pangu, since I know some people aren't along on Pangu. But yeah, for Hyperliquid, I'll look to buy near $40 to $42. 40 to 42. That's going to be a very good level. And here I can... Let's see. Here we go. All right. There. I know this is a big area, but if you're looking to long Hyperliquid, I mean 40 to 42, I would say low leverage 3x. You know, 3x leverage would give you about a 30% loss if your stop gets hit. I would have the stop around 39.20. 39.20. and then DCAing between 40 and 42. Low leverage, 3 to 5x max. But the RSI looks like it wants to clip to the upside. I mean, it looks like it's slowly starting to level out, or the stock RSI, and then the RSI is right below signal line, so maybe a little move higher. Now, if we look at the weekly for Hyperliquid, stock RSI is almost oversold, right? So it's much lower, you can see, versus Solana or Ethereum, which are way up here. So yeah, Hyperliquid doesn't look too bad, despite how much run it's had. But I would wait to buy at a minimum until 42, and then 40, 30 is a good level as well. Let's go over Pengu real quick. So let's see. Okay, so Pengu here. This was, so man, this thing clipped, literally clipped our stop loss. But look where that stop loss lined up. Literally right here at support, guys. I should have placed it a little bit lower. Yeah, should have placed it a little bit lower, guys. Regretting I didn't place a little bit lower there because we did have a bounce. But Pengu technically still looks good. It's still within its descending wedge. It still could break out to the upside. So yeah, Pengu doesn't look bad. Honestly, Pengu doesn't look bad. It's should have placed that stop just below. But yeah, you can see what I mean. Where, I mean, we had our stop at 277. Literally a wick down to 275 before bouncing up to 289. And that's the gist of it, guys. That's why these support and resistance lines, you got to keep extending them out, because then you could see literally we bounced off of that support. So if you would have had to stop at 2.7, then you would have been fine, right? So that just goes to show you they do get respected. But yeah, for the resistance on Pengu, I mean, 2.95 to 3 cents is big resistance. So if Pengu can close a daily above 3 cents, very bullish. The stock RSI looks good, nearly oversold. RSI looks good. Looks like it wants to curve to the upside, cross above a signal line. So yeah, guys, Pengu looks good. If you're still in a trade on Pengu, I recommend holding it, seeing what happens here, because it does still look good, especially if it can close a daily above 3 cents. And then finally, upcoming events. So we have the Singapore crypto or token 2049 event in September, beginning of October. Let me know if you guys are heading over there. We'd love to meet some of you guys. Drop a fire emoji in the chat if any of you guys are going to token 2049. And then also, we do have some big events happening this week and next week regarding the economic calendar. So if you haven't checked my post on X, all right, looks like I disconnected for a second, but I think we're good. Okay, I think we're good now. Yeah, I disconnected for a sec, so I want to make sure you guys can see myself. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, Friday we have non-farm payrolls and unemployment rate. September 10th, PPI data. September 11th, CPI data. September 17th, FOMC. So it's going to be a lot of information and a lot of things coming down the pipeline. Remember, if labor market numbers come in low below expectation and CPI comes in cool, then we could even see that 50 basis point rate cut, which I do think it's already being priced in slowly as it's becoming more of a possibility. So now it's just that volatility we're going to add, but we're going to be adding at major support levels because there will be dips. So I still think this week will be bullish, guys. So make sure you're managing your risk accordingly, but still betting while everyone is scared, like we looked at from our sentiment indicator for the fear and greed index at 39 in that fear area finally, which does that mean risk reward is going to be on our side for purchasing at major support levels. So keep an eye on all this data, guys. It's going to be a lot of good data. And with that, let me go ahead and answer some of the questions. All right, let's see. All right, let's see. I'm trying to, oh yeah, so I gotta look at the SUI chart as well. All right. All right, Zid, what's going on? Good to see you. Darren, CD, I want to start putting in value on X to grow my online presence. Do you have any tips for me, maybe things I can focus on? Yeah, to focus on your online presence, the big thing I would say is just provide value. If you can provide value to people, they'll follow you. Whether it's applying to big accounts with value, such as technical analysis on a certain coin, maybe looking at something that other people may not be looking at, like the Total 3 chart, Bitcoin dominance, ETH BTC, Sol BTC, USDT dominance, right? Stuff that people aren't really looking at, and charting those and giving your insights, it's very valuable. Maybe finding some good tokens that not many people are looking at, but it has good promise. That could be it as well. So definitely check that out, guys. A lot of good opportunity there. And then, yes, Christian says health is wealth. Absolutely. Hugo, we had a bearish August for the first time. Yeah, it could be for a bullish September as well. So that is something to keep in mind. All right. Dolan says thoughts on Bucky. It's been bleeding badly despite Donnie heavily rooting it with prior meme patterns. Yeah, Bucky is very good. I'm still bullish on Bucky. I mean, it outperformed very good when it first came out. So I think it's just the overall market as well bleeding. That's why you're seeing Bucky do the same. Black Label says, love your content. Leverage in a world Liquidify short prior to your live. Do you think we continue to correct towards 20 cents? Hey, appreciate that, Black Label. I don't know if we're going to get to 20 cents, honestly. Everyone's looking at 20 cents now. We may get to 22, maybe 21. But yeah, I would definitely take some profits and secure your profits, or at least have a stop loss in profit. So congrats on the short, by the way. And glad you're enjoying the content. Gentara says, thoughts about the new fastest Telegram Solana bot, Aqua pre-sale starts after 2 days, worth it to Ape. You know, I'm not actually aware of Aqua. That's the first time I'm hearing about this, so I'll have to check. Just be careful, guys, with Solana Telegram bots that are new. You're better off using the established ones as well. Let's see. I'm responding to a text message real quick. All right. Does anybody here know how to contact Luke Belmar? So, I mean, potentially you can try joining the Gem Hunters Premium group, which is the second link in the description, and 1 Ethereum for a yearly subscription, and then trying to message him on there. But he's a very, very busy person. So, let's see. Bayo edits. Yep. Chill guy. Thoughts on useless? I'm neutral on it. Not really bullish or bearish. I think long term it'll probably still do good if Solana does good. Mirza, if you catch a 50% pump on a spot trade, do you take out 50% of the entire position if it's at resistance, just like you would a leverage trade? Yeah, that's what I would do. Dylan, what are the best AI tools to help us with TA? Heck, you can even use ChatGPT. You can paste the chart and use ChatGPT. Cino, the last time Satoshi was online was on Steve's death, and the BTC white paper was and is installed on every Mac by default. That's interesting, Cino. And that's something I'm going to look in more to. Because I remember hearing whispers of that, Steve Jobs being Satoshi, but that'd be very interesting. But Steve Jobs was never like a hardcore coder. Steve Wozniak was always the main one. So that's my only apprehension with that. Lucas, I mean, I know Steve Jobs coded, but like, I don't think he was a genius at coding per se. He's more of a design guy. Lucas, CD, how large a futures account should someone have to trade on a livable income? To trade on a livable income, it depends on where you live. But let's say you live in the United States, where good income, a livable, would be 3 to 4K per month. Then at that point, if you have at least 2 to 3K you're trading with, well, no. Yeah, I'd probably say at least 3K. If you're having at least 3K you're trading with, then that could provide you some type of livable income. If you're making, you know, $100 a day. Stefan, September bullish or bearish? I've heard a lot of opinions. First week bullish, and then maybe bearish afterwards. Let's see. Oh, it's Boondy with the ooh like in food. Okay, Boondy. Gotcha. Also, are we going to see the $3.40 XRP and 66 and World Liberty? So yes, probably for XRP, and yeah, most likely we'll see those levels for both. And let me see. I'm checking another message real quick, guys. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, let me just send a message to someone real quick, guys. I'm just working on some editing stuff right now. Let's see. For the Yeah, guys, I'm almost done. Give me 2 seconds. Almost finished with this text message. Okay, almost done. Just copy and pasting this message real quick. Thank you guys for being patient. Gem icon. All right. Done. Okay, let's go ahead and check out a couple others. Craig says, what are the characteristics of a great community, marketing, etc.? So a great community is helpful. They provide a lot of exclusive content, and they engage with their community and help each other out. That's the characteristics of a great community. Very cohesive, helping each other and providing good, valuable content. Felipe says, then why not open shorts? Because it's still a very volatile market, and we're still in an uptrend overall. So shorts are still risky, but if you do open shorts, low leverage. But I mean, we've already dropped a lot. That's why it's becoming riskier. S4, thanks, CD, for the advice regarding my job. I'll make sure to plan everything because if I lose or win, I'm the one responsible, and I cannot be in a job after having a glitch mindset. Exactly, S4. You got to stay focused, man. Stay focused, plan out your days, get your sleep, and I promise you will be successful. Adrian, nice play for more Liberty-Fi. Didn't sell the top, but 100% plus profit. Looking at 20 or 12.5 cents to enter again and start the rally. Adrian, so awesome. You made some money on that. Congratulations. Gentaris says, ETH is dead. Only hope is Monad, speed, and low fees. ETH is still the main token for stablecoins and for the ETH staking ETF and others. So Monad may do good initially, but again, ETH is where all the attention's at right now. And as Luke always says, where attention goes, money flows. Lucas, to be honest, Canada's livable income is horrible. Sorry to hear, Lucas. Hopefully Canada turns itself around. Pollo Loco, bullish for KTA, and if so, your end-year price prediction. I'm still bullish on KTA. End-year price prediction? Ugh. I don't want to be too much of a moon boy. $2 to $3. Patrick, AI had no currency, so they came back in time and created Bitcoin. Let me know if I cooked. There you go, Patrick. HS, so does anyone here know how to contact Luke Belmar? Yep. I mean, potentially, like I said, in the premium group, maybe. If you tag him there. But he's very busy, so it's going to be a long shot. Lewis, working on 2 jobs, marketing, shipping company. Got some cows here in Costa Rica. Thanks to you guys and all your work. No excuses. We're going to make it happen. Hey, 100%, Luis. That's how you do it. You just work hard, and you will achieve whatever goals you want. Bayo Edits, 107. Has been a wonderful support for Bitcoin in the past, and we have bounced there the last 3 or 4 days. Yeah, definitely good support level. Sebastian says, what trades I can do with 1K? Any trade. You can follow the leverage trades on Gem Hunters. I could help you out as well. Mahedi, you're the only one who knows your seed phrase, but you can't die. Isn't? What's the plan in that case? In that case, I mean, you got to have something with your attorney where you have an agreement to where if you die, that your family or whoever is going to be able to find your seed phrase. Like you could have some clause or something, but yeah, I would have to get with an attorney or a lawyer and make sure you set something up along those lines if you really want to make sure that your seed phrase can still be found should you pass. Gentara says, bro, shill meme to ape what Luke Belmar told you. Let's see. S4 says, at this point, CD's had enough people calling him Luke Belmar. I can feel you, CD. You feel the pain. You feel the pain, S4. Mirza, does the risk-reward ratio of your trades get wrecked because you take 50% of the position out right after hitting TP1 while you still got TP2 and 3 ahead of you? Yes and no, Mirza. I mean, at that point, you're securing your profits, and so you can adjust the percentage. But yeah, the risk-reward is going to essentially, yes, be wrecked once the TP1 gets taken. So that's where you have to adjust it accordingly and decide how much risk you're willing to take. Be better says, any advice for beginners? So follow the reputable accounts on X. So myself, if you're not following me, at the CryptoData. So if you guys haven't followed me on X, at the CryptoData, I provide a lot of useful content, a lot of free content, a lot of coins I'm bullish on. Last one I was posted about was Camp, which pulled a 6X. Now it's Zero Gravity Labs. And yeah, I post a lot of good content, guys. So follow myself. Let me actually link my account in the chat. So myself. You could follow Benjamin Cohen, which is a really good one as well, into Cryptoverse. This guy's one of the best macro analysts I know. And then also Virtual Bacon, very, very good account as well. So make sure you're following all of us. Also, if you haven't followed the Jim Hunter's account, Jim Hunter's X account is really good as well. So make sure you follow that. But yeah, guys, that's what I would say to get started. And then just start learning technical analysis basics. And so if you go to the Jim Hunter's YouTube channel, click on the live tab and the third video from the bottom, that's called Technical Analysis Basics. You can actually learn a lot from there. I go over how to draw support and resistance lines and go over everything. So it's very easy. Then you can actually build a good foundation from that. And then if all fails, ask ChatGPT. It'll give you a good game plan for learning crypto. Zaizen says, thoughts on Giza? No thoughts on that. Mirza, since you say you're not in any low mid-cap coins right now, when do you plan to position yourself for alt season? Probably towards the latter half of October. HS, does anybody here? Gosh, a lot of funny questions here. Craig, watching from Zimbabwe. What a great time to be in crypto. Thanks to UCD. Hey, appreciate you, Craig. Love Zimbabwe. I still want to visit there. Nicholas, what if any music do you listen to? Been listening to more classical and lo-fi music, and I've noticed there's so much less background noise in my head. That's awesome, Nicholas. Music is a great way to quiet the mind, silence the mind, and help us focus. It's also a great motivator if you're working out. So for myself, for working out, I like to listen to rock music, even cyberpunk music, or what else? Maybe inspirational, like motivational speeches as well. Those are always good when working out. And then when just sitting around the house, yeah, lo-fi is really good. Cyberpunk's still good when you know, focus, kind of hacker music, if you will. So those are very good as well. So yeah, just whatever's going to help you stay focused and quiet your mind, always the best, especially for productivity. Ed says stake 5-fig week and CD stream life's peak. Awesome, Ed. So glad to hear. Christian said lo-fi is awesome. Yes, it is. HS, send me a DM on X. He says he really needs to contact Luke Belmar. Very interesting. Elvis, what's up? Realistically, if the whole market starts pumping, in your opinion, how long do we have to make profits in this market, this bull run? So there's three types of tops in this market. We either got end of October, end of December, beginning of January, or May 2026. I still believe May 2026 will be the top, but take 1/3 profit at each of those areas. Patrick says, I don't know if I want to switch to an electric car. Hey, you don't have to choose. I have a gas car still, but I have gas and electric. So it's full self-driving is amazing. If you guys haven't tried full self-driving for Tesla, guys, your mind will be blown. I literally want to drive the car just so it drives itself. Like that's how funny it is. You feel yourself just want to drive. And the instantaneous torque is like nothing you'll ever experience. Greenland, you'll come around eventually. Trust me, I never thought I'd have EVs, but then past couple years, especially seeing Tesla's full self-driving, it made it a no-brainer. Patrick says, looks fire though. Appreciate you. Ghost Rider says, one of my buddies in Cali stage turned it to a 1,300 horsepower. Holy. Oh, that's awesome. Smiling Turtle. Can BloFin be used for perpetual in the EU even after the MiCA regulations take effect? If you use a VPN, yes. Mirza, let's see. Ooh. Okay, let's see. A lot of questions. Holy. Let's see. Where can I... all right, here we go. Mirza says, I made over 5K last month flipping meme coins, but lost majority of it by reinvesting in larger tokens like Fartcoin, Virtual CV, etc. How can I work on not losing money on these spot alts? Honestly, Mirza, buying at major support and setting invalidations for stop loss and then taking profits along the way, because these alts aren't running like they used to. It's not like they're going to run 100, 200% like they did in the last cycle. Like, you got to just take incremental profits because we live in a very, very rotation heavy market, just like with meme coins. HS, does anybody know? Let's see. Yep. Ghost Rider, this is quick. It destroyed my Ninja H2. Wild. Mehedi says, the gray car, you really into alien, bro. Congrats, by the way. Yes, that's what people say, either alien or like AI. I love the Quicksilver color. It's awesome. Sentiment on Doge. Indifferent on Doge, Mike, because the performance has been lagging. X says, what are your targets for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana by the end of the year? Bitcoin, 150K. Ethereum, 6,000. And Solana, 350. No predictions for RFL or Giza, Zaizen. Akuma, what do you think about the Gate IO exchange? I like it. I like Gate better than MEXC. MEXC has been very... MEXC has been very shady recently, so I'd caution people on trading on that. See, I already did TA Mirza for Fartcoin. For useless, I'll look at it a little bit later. Greg says, perfect. 3 minutes is a good idea. Greg says, if BloFin flagged my account because I did use VPN, can I still find a way to trade there? Yeah, you can create a new BloFin account using a different VPN, 100%. Just use a VPN before you create the BloFin account, and you should be good. Stelly says, where do you think is the best place to start learning trading? Gym Hunters, the Technical Analysis Basics channel, and then those channels that I posted below. Divathrian says, your opinion on XRP? I'm neutral to slightly bullish on it. Groga says, my Wi-Fi is so slow. Just got to the point where you answered my question in 10xing. I understand your answer. I'll see you at the top, brother. I appreciate it, Groga. And also for Wi-Fi, if you can get Starlink, if it's available in your area, highly recommend that. Mirza, how do you rebalance your portfolio to keep the 30-30-20-10 structure, and how exactly do you do that? Honestly, it's just, I mean, you can set it that way for, say, a month or 2 months, and if it's not working for you, rebalance accordingly. Christian says, I love organic. Same here. Organic food is the best. And then spring water in glass bottles or reverse osmosis water is the best as well. Ed says, why CD? Why CryptoData? Just because I perform all my analysis and I focus on the CryptoData and instead of my emotions. And then what city I'm based in? I don't want to say what city I'm based in, but I will say I do live in the United States if any of you guys are here. S4 CD is basically giving live streaming. I do what I can. What's going on, Pedram? Good to see you here. Bayo, maybe you'll say when I'm doing TA, but BTC and ETH level is lower. But do you think they'll hold, or are we in a serious bearish point right now? Hard to say, Bayo. Some people will say we already topped in August at 123K. I mean, technically my target was October and 120K, so we already hit it, right? So, I mean, we could have topped already. Like, the point of crypto and being a successful trader is being able to adapt. Have we topped already? We could have. I don't want to say we haven't, because at that point, I'd be kidding myself, right? But I'm still looking at the catalysts, like the interest rate cuts that have yet to happen and the money printer that's about to get turned on. So I don't think we topped yet. Ghost Rider says, Pangu gaining some traction right now. Yes, sir. Mirza says, are you buying Word Liberty Fi on these levels with the same amount of cash at each entry level? Yeah. I'll do that with the same level of cash. So if you're going to buy Word Liberty Fi, say you're going to buy it with $1,000, invest $250 at 20 cents, $250 at 15 cents, $250 at 10 cents, and then $250 at 5 cents. Pedro, what brokerage account do you use for stocks, futures, forex, and others? BloFin, any recommendations? Yeah, for stocks, I'll use either Robinhood or Fidelity or Charles Schwab. But usually Robinhood for stocks. Let's keep it simple. Let's see. Nikolai says, saw a new token called K-Hype. Do you know what it's about? I have no idea, actually, Nikolai. Mirza, does the blue or orange line on the stock RSI show if a token is oversold or overbought? Which one is more relevant to pay attention to? I would say both. Pay attention to both lines. When both of them are overbought, then that's when you can be sure that we'll probably have a pullback in the near future. X says, so you expect first half of September to be bullish, second half to be bearish, but you also expect Bitcoin to do a retest the next 2 weeks and then pump, so the opposite of the rest of the market. Yeah, exactly. So I expect Bitcoin's going to outperform, meaning it's going to go up more than alts in the near future. 5-4 Maxi, any advice for U.S. citizens using BloFin for futures? Coinbase futures is too clunky and margin maintenance is way too high. Side note, on the Seeker phone, I ordered mine 8/7. It's arriving 9/4 Thursday. Thanks for the advice, 5-4 Maxi. I'll look for that Seeker phone to get here very soon. Let's see. Yeah, so as far as end of the year reporting trades, I mean, at that point, I would get a CPA. For anyone here doing taxes, which everyone should be doing taxes for crypto unless you live in a tax-exempt country, I would hire a CPA, guys. That's your safest bet. Coinly with a K, Koinly, is great for taxes as far as like logging into your Coinbase account or your MetaMask wallet, linking that. It literally does everything for you. So, but for BloFin, I'd have to see if it has that as an exchange as well. But yeah, I would get a CPA 5-4 Max, just stay on the safe side. Ghost Rider data, are we very, very patiently waiting for you? You know what? Exactly, Ghost Rider. You already know it. I'm going to work hard to have it released today. Brome, Sui ton XRP graph, please, sir. Bayo edits. His thesis for data coming out this week. Negative news. That would normally be bad, but might cause rate cuts. Would it be bullish? Yeah, if it's negative news, it might cause rate cuts. Yeah, it'll be bullish. Alpha is so fire, it crashed the stream. Exactly, Ed. Mirza, could we get a mini meme coin season next week? Seeing how Sol is about to bounce and then trend line it broke through. I wouldn't bet on it. But Sol's doing good. I mean, that could be memes could bleed into it. Yep, just checked out the charts already. Can BloFin be used for perpetual in the EU even after MiCA regulations take effect? Yes, just use a VPN. Dreamer, after becoming very good at TA and making good trades, what do you think is the next to level up? And also, is your premium group going to cover the DeFi? Because I have little knowledge on that. Yes, it's going to do everything, Dreamer. Everything you can imagine it's going to offer. Bayo edits. Doge charts. Yeah, I'll cover Doge real quick. MACD cross on 50-minute. Yep, good to enter long. TP1 on ETH. What time frame is best? The daily. 4 hour or the daily. Best non-leverage hold. Long hold for Q4. Ooh. Either ETH or Solana. Akshay, rock music. What's your all-time favorite band? Linkin Park. Adam, do you think when the market will pump, Luke will push Dolan again? No. Nicholas, my brother just got a Tesla and it's so fun to drive. Yes, Nicholas, it is so fun to drive. Diddy, how come more LibertyFi is dumping when all long liquidations have been hit? Because a lot of people had pre-sale prices from 1.5 cents and 5 cents and they're dumping as they should. Bromes, could you explain about OG Lab? I read your post, but love to hear live thoughts. Yeah, OG Lab, if you look at the CEO of OG Lab, like he went to Harvard, Stanford, UC Berkeley. He's worked at YC Combinator, worked at Bridgewater Capital, one of the biggest hedge funds. I mean, worked at Microsoft. The guy's a genius, right? And they already were put on the Cato leaderboard, which is the Yapper app. Like, they're doing a lot of stuff and they're already taken over. So it's going to be one of the top AI projects this year. Diddy, what exchange are you good to sign up for? And for early coin access before they get listed on major ones? So, I mean, you know, like the tier 3 exchanges, your MEXC, your Gate.io's. Gate.io is tier 2. But, I mean, tier 3, some smaller ones, maybe BitTunix. Sometimes they list coins earlier. But, yeah, just one of those tier 3 exchanges. Bayo Edit says, World LibertyFi is nearing 20 cents as we speak. Nice. James says, are you eventually going to buy a Cybertruck? Maybe once they fix it, because the first iteration had a lot of issues. That's the only reason why I didn't buy one, and that's why I got the Model 3 or Model Y Juniper. But yeah, eventually I will get a Cybertruck, but it's just going to take some time. Dominic says, where do you see Bitcoin this run? 250K by May 2026. Taucoin, neutral on it. What indicators are you using on TradingView? I'm using the RSI, so the Relative Strength Index, the Stochastic RSI, 50 EMA, 200 EMA, and then support and resistance lines. See, Kaiser says, September is historically bearish. Where do you see Bitcoin and ETH dump prices? Bitcoin maybe to 104 to 106K at the lowest. Ethereum, potentially 3,800. Adam, just because memes are always volatile and it's just very, very hard to maintain those prices with memes because it's still very rotation heavy. Awesome. We have 100 viewers and 100 likes. Appreciate that, guys. So awesome. Appreciate the support. Mr. Robinson says, this whole time I honestly thought you were in Dubai, CD. Whoops. It's because my hours are off, Mr. Robinson. Like, I know why you thought that, because I'm always up at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. I mean, posting at crazy times. So Bitfinex and Gate.io are the two exchanges for early access. I mean, for early access, BitTunix, which is different from Bitfinex, then maybe MEXC. They usually get listings first. Okay, HS, sounds good. Thanks. Cool, guys. Well, let me go over the last few charts, and then that will end it here. So I know a lot of people were looking for me to chart SUI. I'll chart that real quick, and then XRP as well. But as far as the SUI time frame, let's see. So maybe some support here around this 317 level, and then below that, I would look at $3. $3 is a good level. And then below that, I'll look at 284. So our stock RSI is looking good on SUI. And so RSI is looking okay. But yeah, I would say maybe DCAing at 317 and then $3 after that. And then resistance is going to be at 330 and 350. And XRP, real quick. Actually, let's see if the Binance chart, if that actually, no, okay. All right, so for XRP right now, isn't a horrible area to buy around this 275 level, maybe DCAing here and then DCAing at 260 afterwards. But the stock RSI is looking like it's near oversold territory. The RSI doesn't look too bad. So yeah, XRP may not be a bad bet here. DCAing here with resistance at 285 and then bigger resistance near $3 to 307. So yeah, if you buy here at 275, on leverage, look, take profits near 285 and $3, and then 330 after that. But yeah, not too bad. Not too bad of an area here. So, but with that, guys, let me see if anyone else has any last minute questions. Robinhood for USA and trading 212 for UK residents. Yeah, not sure about UK residents, but yeah, Robinhood for stocks for USA. And then, yeah, whichever one is the best in your country. But like I said, guys, I appreciate you watching so much. If you guys aren't following me on X at the CryptoData, I provide a lot of useful content. Check out my pin message. Check out all the recent content that I had. And also, I want to thank you so much for the support. It means a lot, guys. All the likes, the comments, sharing of the post, everything means the world. If you guys haven't joined the free Gym Hunters group, first link in the description. If you want to join the premium Gym Hunters group, that's 1 Ethereum for a yearly subscription. Get more leverage calls, meme coin calls, concierge service, gym reports, gym alpha, etc. And again, I appreciate all of you guys. I love you guys. Hope you have a great Labor Day. Hope you have a great week. And I'll keep you guys updated in the various chats and talk to you guys soon. So thanks for watching. See you later.